Hey guys, what's going on? It's Tokar Kill here, and I'm bringing you a brand new series, PVM for noobs. This week I'm featuring the boss Araxxor, who is personally my favorite way to make money and just for pure enjoyment killing this boss. And the whole point of this series is to help people not of new to bossing, but more experience with high-level gear and high-level stats that aren't the best at DPS, become more efficient at Araxxor and several other bosses, and help speed up their kills, increase their GP per hour, XP per hour, and have more fun while doing it. So let's get into it. So as I said before, this is definitely for higher level PVMers, and as you can see here, this is what I wear. I wear a Reaper necklace, full Serenic, Ascension crossbows, Sign of Life, obviously, Tokar, whatever the range version of that is, and as you can see, my inventory is there. I also forgot a anti-poison potion. That is definitely a problem, as you'll see later in this video. I left the clip in anyways. I didn't substitute it out just to show that you really need it. I have 2 adrenaline flasks, or 3 dose actually. It doesn't really matter. I'm not too fussy. I don't need all the slots. But if you need them, optimize this, change whatever you want, add some more Ceridome and Bruise, whatever you need to do to speed up your kills. So really, for most people, the hardest part about Araxxor is really understanding what happens in each phase. So there are 4 phases, 100,000 HP per phase. There's 19,000 total XP per kill, averages 2 million GP per kill, and drops the components for the noxious weapons, and it is an amazing moneymaker. So this guy will show you what goes on in the general phases. For the second phase, it depends on the path, and I'll make separate videos with much more detail. But for now, we're just going to do some general strategies. So phase 1 is definitely the easiest. All you need to do is DPS, anticipate freedom every 5 auto attacks from Araxxor, overload, activate prayers, and just don't worry, stay calm. The first thing you need to do is build 100% adrenaline. Use your ultimates followed by thresholds. The order is shown on the screen of what I use and works for me. You can change it up. There are plenty of people who kill Araxxor much faster in the first phase. You can actually get him pretty much down to no health by the time the web burns up. I've yet to be able to do this, but this is what works consistently for me. Because this video isn't that detailed of a guide and more of a general strategy and tips, I'm going to fast forward through these points right here and skip to phase 2. So as I mentioned before, phase 2 is different depending on the rotation of Araxxor. There's paths 1, 2, and 3. 1 has the spider minions, 2 has the acid, and 3 has the darkness. This is 1 and 2, and I am taking the middle path for now. So as you can see on the screen, you need to walk Araxxor into the middle of the pool, and there is a new bar that goes right below his HP bar, and this will go about halfway, and it'll say 100% acidity. And once he reaches that, then you walk him up the ramp, and basically you DPS him as much as you can, avoid his special attacks, and wait for the gateway to be opened or bridge. I don't really know what to call it, but you'll see what happens. You can watch in the video. And then from there, that is pretty much the end of phase 2. He has a new special attack where he will summon a spider that will touch you and kill you in one shot. So be wary of that. As you can see, he just did it right there, and then I just ended up running up and it wasn't an issue. So just a quick note, as before I stated in the video, the rotation I use for abilities with the ultimate and then the thresholds, I continue to use this in phase 2, 3, and there's a little bit difference in 4, but not much. I would recommend you use that or something else that works for you. So let's get into phase 3. So there's nothing really new about phase 3. The only difference is that Araxxor will now use special attacks from the other path you did not choose. And as I mentioned before, I am not going to go over these exactly. I will make new videos for each single path, and that is all those will be about, so they'll be in depth and short. So as you can see here, you still DPS. I have to deal with the minions in this case, and after you DPS, then it's on to phase 4, which is the one that you really need to learn and pay attention. So phase 4, here we are, the final phase. Congratulations, you have finally made it. So this phase is a little bit different, and Araxxor uses ranged and mage attacks. As you can see, the mage is more of that green splash, and the range is the gray splatter, I guess you could call it. I don't really know what to say. So there are new mechanics with this boss. So he will use the previous attacks from before, but as I said, he's going to switch between the magic and the range. So from my experience, if I were to give any general tips on this phase, it would be to focus on your prayer switching. It's very important, especially when it gets a high in rage, you'll get hit very hard. So moving on, at 50,000 HP, Araxxor will become more enraged. This means no more special attacks. So now all you need to do is focus on prayer switching. At 25,000 HP, she will release a black sludge that will bounce around and do some serious damage if it hits you. The way I do it is I stand and let it hit me once and then I click out. You have to be careful and you have to keep your health up, but it's really not that bad. Just continue to prayer switch, DPS, don't panic, and you'll be completely fine. Some other general tips if you're taking a lot of damage, try to use devotion. That really helps, and especially if you keep on top of your prayer switching, Araxxor will be a breeze. With all these tips and all this information, practice, practice, practice. Try dueling with somebody who's really good. Honestly, that's how I learned. I feel like it was the best way. And yeah, so let's get into some of the rewards from killing Araxxor. We'll take a look at my loot tab and see what I have from about a little less than 20 kills. Alrighty, so here we are at the bank with my loot tab. I actually got a spider leg, which breaks down to about 50 mil. And as you can see, here is my tab. When you do out the math, it does actually come down to about 2 million XP per kill, GP per kill, and it is honestly one of the best ways to make money in this game that I know of, and it is the most fun. If you guys enjoyed this guide and enjoyed this series, please let me know in the comment section with any other suggestions, requests, and just general comments, and I'll be happy to respond. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.